Hey, Miguel and Devin Miller back here on the CRP, and we are looking at the UFC's latest announcement, additional main card fights on the books now for UFC 238. The 238 card set for June 8th out of Chicago, and they've added bantamweight action as Pedro Munhoz is set to take on Aljamain Sterling, and we get Petr Yan and Jimmie Rivera, a couple of high-level fights here, and guys with a lot of reasons to win. Devin, what'd you think? I got excited when I saw these two fights come across the board, especially the Rivera-Yan one. How do you feel?
Well, I think that the thing to note here at bantamweight, we got to give a little bit of backstory here. The former champion now, TJ Dillashaw, has been stripped of the belt, got popped for a USADA violation, which left this division champion list. We've covered this extensively on the CRP as it was happening. We've covered it. We've covered what we projected to be the title fight for the inaugural belt. Then we covered when we were right about our projections. And that's going to headline this card in Chicago on June 8th for UFC 238 is the vacant bantamweight title will be on the line between current flyweight champion Henry Cejudo and number one bantamweight contender Marlon Moraes. Well, now we get two extra bantamweight bouts, all four guys in the top 10 of this division in what is a wide open division now. So on this UFC 238 card, just assuming that they all make the event on weight and fight, and there's a decisive winners in all three bouts, we will have a much more clear picture of this division moving forward at the end of the night.
That's exactly what I thought. When I saw them release the lineup, I said all of a sudden, that will give us a lot of clarity in the division. They're moving on from TJ Dillashaw pretty fast.
I absolutely agree. I agree. And when you look at the rankings right now on UFC.com, they don't even have anybody in the championship bracket. They don't even have TJ Dillashaw ranked. They just completely removed him from the rankings because he was the champion and he's no longer. That belt's been pulled from him. And when you look at this division, all six of these guys, well, they don't. I take that back. They don't have Cejudo ranked at bantamweight because he's the flyweight champion. He's never fought at bantamweight. He's moving up. Well, he has fought at bantamweight, but he's moving up into the contender rankings to fight the number one contender, number one ranked person they have at bantamweight right now, Marlon Moraes. And then you got Pedro Munhoz and Aljamain Sterling. You got Sterling ranked at number 3 and Munhoz is number 4. One can only assume that those two fights are kind of like a little four-man tournament. Most likely the Sterling and Munhoz winner will fight the winner of Cejudo and Moraes would be my guess. And then you got Petr Yan, a former CRP Prospect of the Week pick, and very highly touted, talented Russian that's 4-0 currently inside the octagon. Very impressive, coming off a big win over John Dodson. Going against Jimmie Rivera, which I'm not exactly sure that this is a good pick for Rivera right now.
Yeah, Rivera. Go ahead. I was just going to comment. Rivera has been a guy who was everybody was high on, but then he took a couple of little bumps in the road, and now everybody's down on him all of a sudden. Still a talented fighter, but a guy in desperate need of getting back on track.
I agree, and that's why I'm just kind of confused at why they took this fight, because he's coming off losses to Aljamain Sterling and to Marlon Moraes, and now they're throwing him in with the guy who many think is going to be the future of this division, and Petr Yan. Not a fun fight for anybody in this division right now. So these are all three very interesting fights. I really hope that all three make it to the show, because at the end of the night, I think we're going to have a very clear trajectory to look at where this division is going. And that we've already covered so much of the storyline with Cejudo and Moraes up at the top, and we're going to cover it a lot more leading up to UFC 238. These two fights are already going to be a very nice addition to an already pretty pretty solid cards. They got Shevchenko as the co-main event, defending her 125 flyweight women's title against Jessica Eye. They've got a really good strawweight women's bout, contender bout between Tatiana Suarez and Nina Antarov, 2 top 5 women's strawweight contenders right there. And, you know, and they've got people like Julie Terry and Ricardo Lamas on this card. This is a pretty solid card, just 3 hours north of me. But I think the real storyline of this pay-per-view, without a doubt, now is the Bantamweight division.
Yep, it's a pay-per-view for UFC 238 scheduled for Chicago on June 8th. Stays together. It will be a Bantamweight extravaganza. Cejudo and Moraes in the main event to decide the vacant Bantamweight title is already set, and the UFC has added 2 additional high-level Bantamweight fights in Sterling versus Munhoz and Rivera versus Yan. I'm Miguel Iturrate for the CRP. I've been joined by our analyst, Devin Miller, to discuss more about the Bantamweight extravaganza set for June 8th.